This is MJ. I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an analyzer. Find all my work at mjmunoz.com. Henshin Inspection presents Super Sentai Sanctuary. I will be discussing what exactly is filler, how do you define it, and is this episode filler? This is Super Sentai Sanctuary episode 19. Wait, again? Avataro Sentai Dawn Brothers episode 19, Hello Ghost? Originally aired July 10, 2022. The writer is Toshiki Inoue, the director is Satoshi Murata. The thing I did not like about this episode is that it was fairly thin. There were solid gags, but no real great character moments. Positive thing, Haruka continues to be an entertaining character. I know Sentai has had salty yellows in the past, but her delightful prickliness honestly reminds me of my kids, and I like that a lot. As for direction, I honestly can't recall anything too special happening visually. The fights were competent per usual. Playing a bit with Minako being a ghost was kind of neat. They did a couple fun things with it, but nothing, major. And it was more like dialogue reacting to that I enjoyed than the actual shtick itself. And then as far as writing is concerned, I can't believe that Tsubasa is still not known as Inu Brother, and his consistent relationship with the rest of the Dawn Brothers somehow works, even though it is easy to expect that it totally would not. And what I mean by that is, like, Inuzaka has a rare relationship with all of the Dawn Brothers, without him knowing that they're the Dawn Brothers, and without them knowing that he's Inu Brother. And it's just weird that, like, because the team gets summoned together the way they do during combat, they know each other as combatants, and then most of them know each other, or they all know each other separately. Excuse me, in their civilian lives. This episode was so bad, it's making me yawn hours later. And yet, they also do have a civilian relationship with each other too, or as, untransformed teammates as the Dawn Brothers. So it's all very strange. And the only thing is, I can't remember. I'm thinking that Don Trigoku doesn't know who Tsubasa is either. He knows, he stumbles across Inu Brother at one point, but he doesn't know that he's Tsubasa. I think that's the truth. Anyway, moving on. So, generally, my general notes, I want to know, how much longer is this going to drag out? I know it's only really been like 2 episodes of filler-ish type content, that being 19 and 18. But, yeah, excuse me for yawning again. That's terrible. That's going to stay in, though, because, I don't know. I'm just tired, actually, honestly. It's not that this episode is that boring or that bad. But I will talk about, what the definition of filler is as soon as that loud vehicle goes by. Thanks, guys. Oh, look. Hey, look. There comes another one coming down the corner. Gonna interrupt my recording. Whew. Anyway, so I basically think filler is just, it's an episode happening in a show that has no forward progression of the plot or the character development of any of the characters. And I will include in the character development character texturing, where you get to look back into the past of a character to learn a little bit more about them, or even see them in a present situation that is unexpected, where you get a deeper insight into who they are as a character. So if there's no forward progression in the plot or story, or in us knowing who these characters are, if everybody's static at the end of it, that feels like filler to me. By that definition, could you call most of the Showa era of Kamen Rider, for example, filler? I suppose you could. But it's also, like, by definition, more of a Monster of the Week type show, where you're just there to see the writer defeat, whoever, the Kaiser Negan, week by week, and it's fun. Like, I never sensed a real forward progression of Kamen Rider in the 1971 show, and I watched probably the first 40 or so episodes as quickly as I could. Kamen Rider Black, there's a little bit of that too, where it's more of an, I think episodic is the right way to say it, where you don't have to catch every episode, and it's a lot of that's a Golden plot, where's Nobuhiko, can't find my brother, until things kind of escalate towards the end. But even during that time, there was this crazy episode with these samurai that got brought forward from the past, and they were from feudal Japan, and then they were all of a sudden in the present, and it was super bizarre. But anyway, that's Kamen Rider Black, not Dawn Brothers, so I'll get back to that. I just don't think there was any forward progression of characters or plot or story, and there was no texturing of them. The villains barely showed up. The Hitsutsuki was like an accidental one, sort of, from this ghost girl Minako. Like, we got to go for a fun ride with Haruka as she was experiencing some of this, and we were getting a lot from her perspective, but it was more just her making her crazy faces and cringing at stuff and doing whatever that she does and like reacting to things, but it didn't really, to me, feel like, oh, this is us getting to know this character better. So that, was not what I liked. But yeah, I definitely think that definition of filler is an episode that fails to progress any one of these things, which again is story, plot, character progression, or character knowledge. I got to come up with a better way to say that. It's filler, and to me this qualifies for sure, because like I said, I already said it. It didn't meet those requirements to me. So, not that I hated it. I was, mostly entertained, which leads me to the fact that I scored this 7 out of 10. And I say in my notes I wrote down I was mostly entertained. This was a fun detour. I liked all the little ghost tidbits, but the cast had to work hard to keep it compelling. I get the sense that Murumase is just being dragged out, and I find that and Inuzaka's continued distance from the rest of the team frustrating. And ghost tidbits are like them holding their breath to see the ghost. I don't know why in Japanese lore or like Japanese kids would have made up that if you hold your breath you can see a ghost, except for I did intuit, well, if you're holding your breath you're not breathing, a ghost doesn't breathe, so therefore you're closer to death and you're closer to being in the state of the ghost, so therefore you can see it a little bit. But I'd love an explanation on that. I don't know if I'm going to look it up later, but if you know, let me know, and that way we can both be benefited. You from hearing my delicious coverage, and me from getting a little tidbit, little information that I didn't have before. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I encourage you to go check out the Creator Spotlight. It's going to lead you back to a video I'm doing introducing one of my characters for my Holy Heroes project, who I draw, and I explain stuff about her character design and background, her pop culture influences, and other stuff. And I do plan to get more of those out. Just life is hectic, so keep coming back, and I'll keep accumulating more of my own content as an author, artist, and as an author and artist, as I'm steadily putting out content as an analyzer here, talking about Super Sentai and tokusatsu in general, as well as other things that I enjoy and that you enjoy. Yes, I enjoy them if you enjoy them, typically, and if you found the feed and you're listening to it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. This is MJ. I leave you with peace and blessings. Until next time, folks, take care.